Child Aid International is a not-for-profit NGO, registered NGO, that sponsors orphans and widows in Iraq.
To be honest, I saw lots of kind of tears in the eye of the orphans there in Iraq, and these type of people, or this certain type of people who really need help, it pushed me and it touched my heart, it touched my feeling as well, to come forward and help. And that's why I decided to do something and ask if we can do something, and finally we came with Child Aid International.
You meet these orphans whose families have gone through everything, you know. I mean, whether it's a brutal dictatorship, the embargo, war, sanctions, invasion, occupation, and yet somehow or the other they are able to go through all of this and still come out even stronger. I find that very inspiring.
Well, Walk for Life it's a unique fundraising campaign. We decided to do a walkathon this year, but rather than having a walkathon around Stanley Park in Vancouver, around Central Park in New York, I decided to do a walk between the cities of Najaf and Karbala in Iraq. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this fits in with a religious commemoration that occurs in Iraq during this time, and we will be joining roughly 6 to 8 million other Iraqis and other pilgrims who will be taking the same journey with us. So what this means is all of us volunteers now have an opportunity to share in a real, authentic Iraqi experience, and that's tremendous for me.
I see the walk as a political statement as well. I mean, various governments have not allowed the Iraqis to go through this walk. In fact, it was banned during the regime of Saddam Hussein. And the fact that they can now express themselves, the fact that they have the freedom of religion, the freedom to congregate, the freedom to march, is a very powerful sentiment as far as I'm concerned.
I have to put some extra care to make sure everything's gonna go as a plan. Let's say everyone's safe. I'll put their safety ahead of me. And of course, there's some other people who will help us too.
What I want to achieve by going over here is to give myself focus and to re-energize myself for some of the work that we do over here, and to remind myself that all these petty issues that I run into here, particularly issues at work, you know, issues at home, stuff about my car doesn't work properly or whatever, all these issues don't mean anything, because there is a huge segment of the population, particularly where we're going, but a huge segment of the population that doesn't even have enough food to eat. They have to make the choice between, do we get to eat a meal tonight, or do we send our kid to school?
But it has a political dimension, it has a physical dimension, it has a humanitarian dimension, and that's why the combination of all of these dimensions makes it quite the electrifying experience.